right now.
Wait! Before we get into this film that's on Netflix right now, please do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button right at the bottom for us, all right? They cloned me. Starring John Boyega and Jamie Foxx and Teresa Parrish. And it is a good film. I did have to say that from the beginning. I'm telling you, when I saw this film, I didn't know what to think and going into this because I like John Boyega as an actor. I kind of feel like he got the unfair end of the stick for Star Wars, and he feels like that too. And a lot of people feel that way because it was like, man, he was force sensitive in that. Why did they go backwards and stuff?
Whether it's force sensitive or not, why didn't they just give him a role? Like that would have been nice. Instead of just saying Ray.
Where's Ray?
Ray, I never told you Ray. Ray,
Like, I don't give a damn what the role was. Just like anything would have been cool.
Yeah, and this one, they gave him a great role in this. He plays a drug dealer called Fontaine. Jamie Foxx plays a pimp called Slick Charles. Teresa Parrish, she plays Yo-Yo. And they stumble across a trap house that has an elevator in it.
When I saw the film, I was nervous because the movie very obviously starts trafficking in stereotypes, specifically black stereotypes, where our main character is a drug dealer. The only main female character is a prostitute. Jamie Foxx plays a pimp. I'm like, what? And like, there's like a gun battle early on. And I'm like, okay. There's like a big advertisements for black people eating chicken, and they're like, nom, 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 nom. It's real bad, And I'm like, oh my God, what the am I watching? But the movie is smarter than that. It's trafficking in this on purpose, right? Because what they don't realize is they're being manipulated by the man. But we'll get into that a bit later. I did enjoy this film. I did like it. It's very bizarre and it's very surreal, and I think it's surreal bizarreness, just like Barbie, which we reviewed earlier this week. I think they use that to explain how surreal it is sometimes to be black in America, to live this life and to know what's going on. Like, how do you function? There's a point in the film where our main character Fontaine learns the truth of the Glen where he lives, and he tries to go back to normal, and he just cannot do it. He just cannot function. And I hate this word. It's because it's been bastardized so much, but I'm gonna use it anyway at my own personal risk. But this is literally the definition, or the real definition of being woke, right? When you can see the world for what it actually is. And when you do, you operate differently. You think differently. Same thing in Barbie. They had these hypnotized Barbies, and once they got unhypnotized and they saw the terrible structures they lived in, it's hard to function normally. And so one of the things I like about this movie, it does explain very well, but in an artistic and comedic fashion, what it feels like sometimes to be black. Where you see all kinds of awful depictions of yourself on TV, and you're just supposed to think that's okay, right? Like there's a commercial with the chicken people, and they're like, "Come get this chicken, it's so good." God, they damn, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, oh Lord, have mercy,
bro. They up there twerking and dancing, doing all this.
When I first saw it, I was like, does the movie know or not? I'm not sure.
The movie knows. The movie knows.
It knows. So it's smarter than you think. But that first beginning, for me anyway, I was nervous. So in the film, we're introduced to Fontaine, our main character, played by John Boyega. He is a very unpleasant person. There's even a character later in the film who says, "I've never seen you smile," and he does not. He is a pistol packing drug dealer, and he is getting his money. And his money is coming up light. God damn it. And he's like, whose money am I missing? Is this Slick Charles's money? So he goes go get his money. But in the process of getting his money, he offends a rival gang member who comes and shoots him dead as he's trying to get get the money from Slick Charles. And then there's a hard cut where John Boyega wakes up in his bed. He seems to have no memory of getting shot, but he does remember that his money is light. So he goes back to he goes back to Slick Charles, and Slick Charles is like, "You just died. Like, why are you here?" And John Boyega is like, "What are you talking about?" And so they follow the breadcrumbs all the way to this trap house where, as you said, there is an elevator in the trap house, which leads them on an absolutely bizarre, outlandish, and hilarious adventure to find out what is the conspiracy going on literally under the Glen. And what's interesting is there's a movie that's very similar to this one, even down to its surrealness, and that is Black Dynamite. Dynamite! It's literally the exact same plot.
I was saying the same thing with the Anaconda malt liquor. Say woo. Anaconda malt liquor.
That's it.
Anaconda malt liquor make it say woo.
Yep.
And when you pop the top, the panties drop.
In Black Dynamite, they were poisoning the malt liquor and a bunch of other things.
And what is the slogan for Anaconda Malt Liquor? Anaconda Malt Liquor gives you woo! Gives you what? Woo! And who else is famous for woo? Little Richard! What is another word for Richard?
That is one of my favorite films of all time.
We could talk about Black Dynamite forever, so I don't want to get too sidetracked. But I was dying of Black Dynamite, and this movie reminded me of that a lot. Where in Black Dynamite, the conspiracy was to make black people's dicks smaller. In this one, the conspiracy is to control black people. And this is where the movie starts to actually converse with some of those stereotypes that it started with John Boyega being a drug dealer, and he is cloned because his role in the community is to keep it messed up, right? Is to keep it
messed up, yeah.
When Fontaine realized that was his role, he was at a moment of self-reflection.
Later on, you find out that Jamie Foxx's character was cloned to be the pimp, to keep the women down,
keep the community bad. So I was like, all right, I see. They're not just playing with these bad stereotypes just to be playing with them. They're actually trying to say something about it.
To keep the mind control over everybody, that's where you come in, where the chemicals and stuff that they found down there that you think it was regular drugs, nah, that's the baking powder that they put in the chicken. But it's not just that. It's in the hair products. When there's a scene where a woman who's a teacher who's complaining about the educational system not be having enough money to provide supplies, and then as soon as the lady put that stuff in there, she's like, maybe I'm just tripping. I'm like, ah!
And now the board members saying they gonna cut our pay again. Shit is just, maybe I'm just tripping, you know?
Right.
You know?
Right.
And at the church with David Allen Greer as the preacher, boy, drinking the juice that's laced with that stuff.
They'd never cloned Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo was a prostitute, and they didn't think she was particularly important. And yet, she was the smartest one here, right? And not only was she like street smart, she had the highest education too. And they just took her for granted. She was the one that should have freaking cloned. But they were like, it's just another black prostitute. Goodbye. And they'd never cloned her. And not only that, when they captured her, they're like, we're going to do the mind control on her. And they tried to put the hair relaxer in her. But she wore her wig anyway.
So smart.
Both the black community and the white community often underestimate the power of black women. They never see their power. They never see their potential. And I think this movie, through the character Yo-Yo, explained that very well.
And I was like, whoa, Keith Sutherland's in this thing. He basically is the right-hand man of the person that's in charge. It's a lot of good things that's said about this film. And, when you say, we like films that is talking to us about something,
Right.
This film is screaming at you.
It is, right. Like I said, I don't think it does it all perfectly. I think it went a long time with those stereotypes in the beginning. It went a long time. It went long enough for me to start shifting uncomfortably. You know what I mean? Before the movie actually started commenting on it. So it doesn't say it all perfectly, but I do like how strange and bizarre and creative this movie is. I liked Jamie Foxx's role because I thought he was both horrific and hilarious at the same time. I liked Yo-Yo. I liked Fontaine. I liked a lot of these characters.
The one thing I took from this is that Hollywood, man, y'all are missing it with John Boyega. This man is a talent, and he's gonna go where he is celebrated. And Jamie Foxx, you know, I'm so glad that he's able to be in this film after, you know, what he went through. God bless him. I really like this film. I think you should. I'm going to go ahead and say that I think you should see it. It's an A for me.
I like this movie a lot, but I'm giving this one a B. I liked its messages. I think it had a really important message, but I didn't think it did it perfectly. But it doesn't have to be perfect, right? I thought this movie was very good, and I thought it was very entertaining. And like I said, with Barbie, think about how hard it is to take such a serious topic and make it funny. You know what I mean? Like, most people would be straight up offended by that. I remember when Django Unchained came out and it was a freaking comedy, people were appalled, right? I think people can see how cathartic it is to laugh at your pain, right? And sometimes as a black person, that's all you can do. You have to laugh to keep from crying. So I liked its message. I liked the tone. I liked how weird and creative it was. So this is a really good film. I really enjoyed it.
Now, you recommend people to watch this on Netflix, man?
I do. Easy recommendation. The movie's not too long. It's funny. It's a light, easy watch, but it does have heavy themes. So this is an easy recommendation for me.
And of course, I say go ahead and get on Netflix and watch this.
What has happened?
I see this shit fucked up. They out here cloning this. What the fuck going on in this bitch?
That's right. That is the prevailing theory.
Thank you so much for clicking on this video. We really do appreciate you guys. And I just can't say it enough. We like that you guys comment and talk to us in the comments and showing us so much love. But if this is your first time seeing us, please do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button right at the bottom, all right? Trying to get on up there. And if you did like this rating and review for this film, please hit the thumbs up. It really does help us out. Or you can hit the thumbs down. Whichever you choose, it is your opinion. But just remember one thing. It is mostly wrong.
Thank God they didn't actually clone you. That would be terrifying. We only need one Tyrone in the world.
Yeah, the good one.
That's it. That's exactly
the
right.
dopest one.
The dopest one.